Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ulrike and I am a key beauty and skincare content creator and just general skincare enthusiast. And since this is the last week of 2022, it is time, of course, to share my personal, mostly K-beauty and skincare favorites of the year. This is part one, because I think this will be too long of a video if I don't split it up. So let's go. All right, let's start with cleansers. I'm basically going to just go through my routine pretty much. And of course, the first step is always cleansing. And I've got 3 cleansers that I really like this year. In general, when it comes to my favorites, I have to say, just because I don't mention something here that I have mentioned a lot throughout the year, it doesn't mean I didn't like it. With favorites, it's always a little bit difficult to decide what to choose, because if you've tried a lot throughout the year, you might end up having 10 favorites, but if I would introduce you to every single favorite product within a certain category, certainly with the toners and serums, that became a problem, I would likely make a 3-hour video. So I always chose 3 per category, and let me tell you, it was pretty difficult to narrow it down. However, with the cleansers, to be honest, it was kind of straightforward. Now, I only have 1 oil cleanser because I haven't really tried that many oil cleansers in general this year. Overall, I have to say I don't oil cleanse as regularly anymore as I used to. In all truth, ever since the pandemic, I've kind of stopped double cleansing unless I wear really heavy, stubborn sunscreen, or of course if I wear makeup, but I don't wear makeup that often anymore. So most of the time, in all truth, I just use 1 foaming cleanser or a cleansing milk, and my skin is fine with it, it seems. So yeah, not that many oil cleansers on the list, but the cleansing oil that I like the best this year definitely has been this one, which is the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Light Cleansing Oil. I think I didn't mention this oil in my Skin 1004 favorites video, but it was a big fave of mine. I did talk about it in my blog post, and I've been consistently using it. As you can see, not that much has been used, but again, I don't oil cleanse that much, so that's why most of my oil cleansers didn't really finish throughout the year. I have used predominantly this one whenever I do use double cleansing or do a double cleanse. And it really just does such a fine job removing makeup, especially foundation and primer. Not so much the eye makeup, but I always find you always need an extra cleanser for that anyway. Usually I use a micellar water. That's fine. So I usually don't really need this for my eye makeup. It's mostly to get rid of, as I said, stubborn sunscreen and all sorts of makeup on my face, on my overall face, base makeup, blush, etc. And for that, this has done a really good job. And the reason why I really like this is that it's so lightweight. It feels almost watery when you apply it, and it just doesn't feel thick or heavy or too oily. You know, sometimes with cleansing oils that don't wash off well, you get a bit of a greasy feeling afterwards. With this one, you just don't get that. So for me, the best cleansing oil I've tried, it really is worth the hype. The hype is real. This is not just influencer scamminess or anything. I truly was impressed with this cleansing oil. And when it comes to foaming cleansers, I chose 2 because I couldn't really decide between them. And one of them, again, is a Skin 1004 product. And I have talked about this quite a lot on my blog and also on this channel, because to me, hands down, the best foaming cleanser I've tried in a long time. And it is the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Ampoule Foam. This just is so gentle, and it has this right, correct balance between being a thorough cleanser and still being very respectful of your skin barrier. Whenever I've used this, again, I have talked about this before, so this is not news for you. Whenever I've used this, it's just been it's just been such a nice experience. I don't know how else to describe it. The foam is really soft and it feels really nourishing. And again, it cleanses really well. But afterwards, my skin always feels so... My skin just feels so soft. It almost feels as if I've already used some moisturizer. And so for me, especially when you have skin barrier issues, this is such a good pick. Some people have reported back to me and said for dry skin, apparently it does feel a little bit drying. So potentially you should maybe not use it if you've got dry skin, but for oily to normal skin or lightly dry skin, this is really beautiful. And again, especially if you have skin barrier issues. And then the second step cleanser is a cleansing milk. And this one I've also talked about quite a lot on this channel because it's really just so wonderful. And it is the Dewytree High Amino All Cleansing Milk. And it's this one. Really big bottle that seems to just last forever. You don't need a lot up from this one, which I really appreciate because sometimes with cleansing milks, I feel you need a huge amount so that it actually works on your skin. The reasons why I love this so much and why to me this was one of my favorite cleansers. First of all, it is just so gentle. It just feels like a warm hug. If you have dry skin, if you have very sensitive skin, I can really recommend this because it's very respectful of your skin's natural lipid barrier, doesn't strip the skin, and also just keeps the skin very soft. Beautiful. There's not much else to say. Definitely still one of my favorite cleansing products of the entire year. The next category is actives. So any active ingredients. And in all truth, that was the easiest category because I haven't tried that many actives this year. I would say I kind of stuck mostly to already existing favorites, mostly from Geek and Gorgeous. So this is pretty much the only category where I have a non-K-beauty product. And of course, it is one that I've already raved about. I don't know how many times, 200,000 times, I guess. And it is, of course, the Geek and Gorgeous. So my camera doesn't do well with picking up on this because of the lighting. But anyway, I'll show a close-up somewhere as well. And it's the Geek and Gorgeous A-Game 10. I have a whole video where I talk about all Geek and Gorgeous products, so make sure to check that out if you want to know more. This is a retinol with an A product, so it uses retinaldehyde, which is a vitamin A derivative that is actually more potent than retinol because it needs one conversion step less, or even two, I think, less. Basically, it just needs one conversion step in order to get to its active form. That is the one that has all these lovely benefits for our skin. I don't think there is a better retinol product on the market at the moment. To be fair, I haven't tried many of the fancy ones because I can't afford them, but I can't really see them doing anything special that this doesn't do. The A-Game 10 has 0.1 retinol. They also have a less strong one that is 0.05%, A-Game 5. If you're a retinol beginner, maybe go for the A-Game 5. For me, A-Game 10 is perfect because I'm old, so I need something with a bit more strength. I've actually started using this every other day. I've now switched to a different retinol just because I promised to review that one. I like that one a lot too, but it's too early to tell, so I will take a few weeks before I tell you about that one. But otherwise, throughout the year, I've mostly used A-Game 10, and I've really noticed my skin looking a lot dewier, a lot more youthful. Truly, I can see a difference, and a little bit more firm as well. Firmness is always my main problem, more so than wrinkles, to be honest. I've got wrinkles around the eyes, but otherwise, so far, knock on wood, wrinkles have not been my main issue with aging, but sagging has been a big problem for me. And I feel this really very subtly has improved my overall skin firmness. And it's affordable. There really is nothing quite like it on the market. Fragrance-free, alcohol-free, all Geek and Gorgeous formulas are just chef's kiss, the best. And then the next actives product. Maybe this is a bit of a sneaky one because technically it's a toner pad. But since it contains PHA, I thought I'd put it in the actives category because I've really been enjoying it and I haven't really talked about it that much. And it is the WELLAGE Real Cica Calming Big Ambo Toner Pad. This one in this big green box. Toner pads, I've said this before, are always kind of hit and miss. Sometimes they annoy me and sometimes I love them. I don't know, I kind of go through phases. This one, I have noticed using this very consistently, especially on days in the mornings when I wear makeup. It really does help to smooth down my skin very subtly and gently so, but noticeably. Why I really love this is because it uses PHA and LHA, two very, very gentle acids that are also, in my opinion, some of the best ones for combo skin and for anyone who just wants your skin a little bit more glow to the skin. Especially PHA, to me, is the best chemical peel choice if you just want that glow from improving cell turnover and getting rid of old dead skin cells. It's also a lot more gentle than AHA, it is an AHA. No, is it? No, it's its own category. Now I'm mixing up myself. Glycolic acid is the one I wanted to say. It's a lot gentler than glycolic acid, which is always the one that's kind of touted as the best anti-aging one. To me, the anti-aging benefits of PHA in particular have been a lot better because it just gives you that lit from within, candlelit kind of glow that I'm always after. That's kind of the aesthetic that I'm always trying to achieve. Not the super donut, glazy, crazy glow, but just the subtle, my skin is healthy and I had a good night's sleep kind of glow, you know? And this really does help you with that. And also I just like it so much as a preparation step for when I use makeup because it just smoothes everything down. It also contains Centella asiatica, Madagascar, a lot of good calming ingredients. It's a really beautiful product and usually you can find it at Olive Young for quite a good price. I think for this I paid $23 or $20, which I think is fine because WELLAGE can sometimes be a little bit pricey. To me, Olive Young has the best value packs for WELLAGE, but do wait for the sales. Otherwise, it can also be quite expensive at Olive Young. Guys, I still have a little bit of COVID cough left, so I hope this will work out post-edit because I've had to stop the recording a couple of times. COVID really is a persistent little, I'm not going to say the bad word, but I'm not very pleased with my COVID journey so far, which has been 2.5 weeks now. Anyway, let's get to active number 3. And this one is a vitamin C serum that I think I haven't talked about yet on this channel. And I really need to. I've been wanting to do a full video potentially because I have been loving this. And it is the 107 Soseo Vinbiome Vitamin C Serum. And it comes in this pretty black bottle. Now, the only thing that isn't that great about this vitamin C serum is that it's a little bit pricey. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat so that you know. Don't get angry at me after hyping it up. So this one is a little bit pricier than a regular ascorbic acid type serum, but in all truth, I think it's worth it. So this serum uses a vitamin C derivative, mainly what's it called? Ethyl ascorbic acid. This is a relatively new derivative, but from what I've read, and excuse me because I'm not a scientist, so if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me if you know more about the science. But from what I've read and how I understood it, it seems to be the most promising derivative at the moment. It is also a bit of a pricier raw material, so that's probably why this also costs $72, which is a little bit much. But the thing is that, like all derivatives, they might not be as potent as pure ascorbic acid. However, that also makes them gentler. And it also makes them more stable. So this, you actually don't need to worry about oxidizing or having to put it in the fridge or anything. This basically remains stable. And if you have sensitive skin, this might be a great alternative if ascorbic acid is just a little bit too much for you. As for the benefits, for me personally, I have noticed the same improvements to my skin as I do with a pure ascorbic acid serum. It brightens a little bit, it really shows kind of more firmness. The whole collagen producing properties of vitamin C seem to work with this one as well, but especially the brightening I really have noticed after using this consistently. This also contains ginseng extract, a lot of fermented ingredients. It's just an overall beautiful anti-aging serum that if you can afford it, I really can warmly recommend this. Next category, my favorite, always my favorite, and it's toners. This was a hard one to narrow down to 3. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried a lot of good toners lately, but I kind of went with the ones that I kind of tended to grab the most, especially when my skin felt troubled in any way, or if I just needed a little bit extra oomph, right? So the first one, probably again not a surprise if you've been following my channel, because I have mentioned it a lot, and it is the Teatox, what's it called again? Kombucha Teatox Essence, and it's this one. I really don't have to tell you much more about this because, again, I've been talking about it throughout the years so many times. To me, a really highly underrated toner. I'm using essence and toner interchangeably here because they really are. Essence is kind of, it's not a real extra category. Koreans tend to call essences mostly anti-aging or very potent products that could have a toner texture, a serum texture. So here, for me, this is a toner. It is slightly viscous, but mostly liquid, and it's straight up hydrating. So it's a toner for me. Anyway, this toner, it contains kombucha extract, so basically fermented black tea extract, which is great for your skin barrier. Fermented ingredients also tend to give me a really nice glow, but the reason why I like this so much, again, I have spoken about this before, is because it gives such a beautiful smoothness. It really has such an incredible smoothing effect on the skin. It also does really improve glow and just overall texture. It seems to make my skin, I almost want to say, more resilient. And it contains a lot of really great anti-aging goodies, lots of antioxidants, gorgeous, gorgeous product that I actually think is usually quite reasonably priced as well. And then the second toner that I decided to include in my favorites for the year is the Mixsoon Mung Bean Seed Essence. I feel I've already talked about this as well on my channel, and I still really, really enjoy this. The Mixsoon, I think it's just called Bean Essence or Bean Ampoule or something like that. Wait, I actually have it here. Anyway, I'll show it some other time. That one just went viral because I think they send out PR to a couple of bigger influencers. I think that's a great product, but to me, in all truth, I think this is more interesting. There's something very special about this. This contains basically 100% fermented mung bean extract and not much else. I think a couple of maybe humectants as well. But for some reason, even though it's such a simple, minimalist formula, it feels very nourishing. Whenever I use this, I really feel my skin just feels very, not just hydrated, but also moisturized. For me, if you have very sensitive skin, if you have dry skin, if you have mature skin, this is a really great toner choice because, again, very minimalist formula, so not many chances to have sensitivities unless you are allergic to mung bean extract, obviously. And yet it offers so much in terms of nourishing and hydration and skin barrier support. Truly beautiful. I still reach for this all the time. Again, I think this is more interesting than the bean, I really don't know what it's called, but I think bean essence. The serum that Lab Muffin just talked about. That one's great. This, to me, at the moment, bit of a secret tip. I don't think anyone is talking about this. And the last toner, again, I have shown this before, and I've really just loved it so, so much. This toner, Basically, it's the toner that I always reach for when I really have sort of SOS. I've overdone it with my actives, or I've just tried too many new things. My skin is a little bit out of whack kind of situation. When that happens, this is the toner I reach for. And it is, of course, another one that I've already named as a favorite throughout the year, and it's the Pecom Barrier Cycle Toner. Very popular in Korea. I think here in the West, it's kind of on and off in popularity. I sometimes do see influencers talk about it, but surprisingly not as many as I thought. Apart from this, I also really like their moisturizer, the Keto Cream. Beautiful. The whole brand is very, very interesting to me. I did a full video, so you can check that out. The toner, definitely, I would say, still one of their best products from what I've tried. It is alcohol-free, fragrance-free, and it just is chock full of really great skincare ingredients. Azulene, lots of humectants. Azulene, super soothing, calming, lots of humectants, a lot of antioxidants, and so many ingredients aimed at calming down red, inflamed, sensitive skin, which again is why this is kind of my SOS. I just need to calm down what's going on with my skin type of toner. If you have sensitive skin, if you don't need super intense hydration, because this isn't, it's hydrating, but it's not as hydrating as, say, the Dr. G toner that I introduced you to last week. But it is hydrating unless you have super, super dry or incredibly dehydrated skin. Apart from that, this works for all skin types, I would say, as a soothing, calming, SOS type toner. Beautiful. I still love this. I've used it up almost half, I think, by now, which is pretty good for me. And the last category for today, as I said, there will be a part 2 next week, but I'm still a little bit fatigued, so long video shoots are still a little bit much for me. And also, I think you don't really like watching long videos, I have noticed. So I decided to do 2 parts, but the last category for today is probably one of my favorites apart from toners, and it is serums and ampoules. And again, I have 3 products here. And again, they're not really surprising for anyone that's been following me, not just here on YouTube, but also on my blog and on Instagram. If you are not following me on Instagram yet, make sure to do that. I don't post as much anymore in my main feed, but I do post a lot in my stories, especially unboxings of hauls, or if I do get PR samples. I don't accept that much PR. I prefer actually to buy my own stuff because it's just a lot of weird stuff you sometimes get offered. And I want to stay consistent and true to sort of my mission to only introduce really great or interesting brands. So I say no to a lot of stuff. But yeah, if I do get something, I always unbox it on Instagram. So please follow me there. And which one should I start with? Let's go with this one, which is something I have shown here on this channel, I remember. And it is the all-natural Houttynia Cordata Care Serum. All Natural, a Korean indie brand that became really popular during the pandemic, predominantly because of their sheet mask, their Houttynia Cordata sheet mask. Now, I've tried those sheet masks. Don't like them that much, to be honest. Given that they're so popular in Korea, I expected them to blow my mind, especially because I like the serum so much. And basically, this serum is just, I think, the bottled up essence from the sheet mask. However, the thing with the sheet masks is the sheet is so uncomfortable. It just feels really almost like paper. I can't describe it, but it feels kind of rough. It's not a pleasant experience on the skin. And so in all truth, if you want to try a Houttynia Cordata product, a hyped up one, I wouldn't go for these sheet masks. I would go for the serum because the serum is fantastic. It is so calming and so soothing. This, apart from the Pecom toner, another one of those SOS, my skin is freaking out, I don't know what to do type products that just instantly calms down my skin, works so well with my redness issues. throughout summer and spring because hay fever season was so terrible. By the way, we have the end of December. I swear I'm already feeling pollen in the air. I can just feel it. They're already coming out. Global warming, not fun when you have allergies. Anyway, so I'm thinking I'll probably reach for this again quite a lot in the coming hay fever season because nothing calms down my skin quite as well and especially works against my redness issues that I get from my allergies. Just gorgeous, fragrance-free, alcohol-free, very minimalist formula that is just focused very strongly on simple hydration plus anti-inflammatory goodness. I love this. I still love this. It is an outstanding product in my opinion. And then the second one is also a soothing and calming serum that I have talked about before here and that I feel not that many people outside of Korea seem to know about. And it is the BOH BioHeal Panthenol Cica Blemish Ampoule. This is my fourth bottle, I think, of this, third or fourth, because in 2019, I think, my mom went to Korea and brought me a double pack of this one back because I had seen it on the Olive Young website. Back then, there was no Olive Young Global, so you couldn't really get anything when it came to those Olive Young home brands, because this is an in-house CJ, which is the big chaebol behind Olive Young, a CJ brand, which is also why it's always very strongly pushed at Olive Young because it's their own brand. And they really have actually been surprising me with the quality. I thought, to be honest, because it's a drugstore brand and an in-house brand, maybe it's a little bit cheap. No, this is top notch. And I remember just falling in love so much with this because it is so soothing and it also is really nourishing. This is a great mix of nourishment, soothing, anti-inflammatory goodness. It contains panthenol, it contains Centella asiatica, metacasicide, and ceramide. So it has a bit more richness and nourishing to it compared to a simple hydrating serum. It doesn't feel watery. It's kind of more creamy almost, but still very lightweight. And this is the newer version, which now is fragrance-free. It used to have essential oils in it, so it is even more gentle. Beautiful for sensitive skin and for very dehydrated skin. I really think this is one that needs a lot more hype outside of Korea, in my opinion. The moisturizer is also really, really good. All right, and last product for today is one that, if I had to choose just one favorite serum or ampoule, hands down, this would be it. Because, oh my God, have I fallen in love with this. And again, I feel it's a product that not as many people talk about as I would like, because I only have a couple of hundred followers. I won't have a lot of influence to make people use it. So I'm hoping more larger named influencers will talk about this. Apparently Meech Muse has also raved about this. And she, of course, has like 1 million followers. I don't know how many, but lots. She's so gorgeous. But anyway, so I know one person has raved about this, but otherwise this still kind of seems to flow a little bit under the radar outside of Korea. So I'm hoping more people will discover this. And it is, of course, the CKD Retino Collagen Small Molecule 300 Collagen Pumping Ampoule. Listen, maybe it's because of the long name that no one talks about it, because it's a bit of a mouthful. This one, in its very interesting bottle, because it's got that weird sort of shape, CKD is a pharmaceutical company, very famous and successful Korean pharmaceutical company, and they have, I believe it's a patented capsulated collagen, low molecular collagen, special form of collagen that supposedly penetrates the skin better and more effectively. Collagen in general, always a bit of a... No one really knows if it really does much besides being a humectant. Supposedly, according to the expert, collagen doesn't really replenish collagen in the skin if you just apply it topically. But as I've said before, and I will not budge on this because I keep using this and it keeps happening. Compared to other collagen products that I've tried, this one just does something special that the others don't do. Nothing I have tried this entire year, and I've tried a lot, in terms of anti-aging, nothing has brought quite as good of a benefit to my skin as this. It is so plumping and so smoothing. Whenever I use this, these lines here just kind of almost disappear. There's something magical about this. Maybe it's just because the quality of the collagen is better, so the humectant effect is better. I don't quite know what it is. But this, to me, absolutely a magical product that just brings so much vitality and plumpness to my skin that I just really enjoy using this. The price, a little bit higher, but still I think affordable and okay, especially since at the moment it's constantly reduced at Olive Young. I hope it's not because they're taking it out of their rotation or something like that, because to me, truly, this is marvelous. I just love this so much as a humectant, hydrating, plumping, anti-aging serum. All right, and I think we're going to stop here for part one, because otherwise it's just going to be a little bit too exhausting for me with my COVID brain, post-COVID technically. So make sure to come back next week for part two, where we talk about moisturizers and sunscreens and makeup and anything else that I've forgotten in this first part. And all the favorites that I had in 2022, mostly K-beauty, to be honest, and maybe a little bit of indie skincare as well. We'll see. I haven't written the list yet, to be honest. And I hope you found this video entertaining, helpful, and maybe you can give it a thumbs up to support me. Or even better, consider subscribing, because that's so helpful. I am almost at 500 subscribers. That is a number that is quite substantial to me. It sounds so little compared to other people, but for me that's quite good for my first year of YouTube. So maybe you can help me get to 500 before the new year. I don't know, maybe that's too ambitious, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm so grateful to everyone who has subscribed, everyone who always leaves lovely comments. So many nice people watch my videos, and I'm really quite grateful for that, because YouTube can be a daunting place for someone a little bit older and a little bit chubbier, as it were. Certainly don't look the ideal. I don't have the ideal YouTube face or body. And so I'm always grateful when everyone is very kind and respectful and nice. So thank you so much for making my first year of YouTube so joyful, and here's to the next one. I hope you'll have a great New Year's Eve. I hate New Year's Eve, so I won't do anything, but I'm just gonna have a chill night, you know, maybe do some tarot card reading or something like that, some divination, and that's about all I do. And I see you again in the new year with part two, with all my favorites of 2022. And until then, please do take care.